Today we're going to talk about getting the best price for your real estate note. Most people who have sold a note using owner financing only do it once in their lifetime, so as a result they only have one note. So they can't really depend on past experience to decide what they did right and what they did wrong the first time. You want to make sure you do it right away. The process for selling a note has a few similarities to a bank loan, but in most ways it's completely different, and we'll go into that a little bit. My name is Alan Noblet. I'm the owner of Seascape Capital. Seascape has been in business since 2002. First of all, when you're thinking about selling your note, talk to 3 to 4 different note buyers. The reasons for that are you want to get some different prices so you can find out exactly what's going on with the value of your note. You want to understand what the process is, so not all note buyers have exactly the same process, and you want to know how that's going to fit. And then finally, and even more importantly, is you want to gauge the fit and trustworthiness of the person you're working with. Some people are more ethical than others, and you want to make sure you're working with the right person. Now, what matters most in the end is how much money you're actually receiving. So the initial offer that you get from a note buyer may not be the last one. It may have to change, and there are a lot of good reasons why it might need to change later on. You want to make sure that the note buyer is checking the payer's credit very early in the process, and ask the note buyer what could change the price on down the road. We'll get into some reasons on the next slide. And partials can be a little bit better solution than selling the full note. A partial is where you only sell some of the payments instead of all of them. You're going to receive less money up front, but frequently you're going to receive more in total. And I generally encourage people to keep as much of the note as they can. In some cases, a partial may be the only real solution. Now, what can change an offer? First of all, and most often, is payer credit. So I recommend that before you sell your property to somebody that you check their credit so you know what that looks like. When you're selling your note, better credit is generally going to mean a better price for your note, and a better credit means a higher credit score. If you're selling your property and the person is signing as an LLC or corporation, try to get a personal guarantee because that will improve the marketability of your note and therefore the price of what you'll receive. Make sure that when you're talking to the note buyer that you know the exact balance of the note ahead of time. You can do that by either checking the amortization schedule, or if you know how to use a calculator, you can do it that way. A third reason that people frequently don't get the price that they were originally told is because the appraisal comes in too low. So we, like most note buyers, are always going to check the value of the property by doing a drive-by appraisal. And if the property price comes in lower than we expected, that means there's less potential equity and thus more risk for the note buyer. So in many cases, we're going to have to lower the offer that we're giving you if the property does not appraise where we expected. If you have any recent appraisals, you should share those with the note buyer as well. And the fourth reason, and a less common reason, is if there are any title issues. Most commonly, this is late property taxes, but it could also be judgments or other liens that need to be resolved. Now, when you're talking with a note buyer, there's some things you want to ask them. First of all, do they seem trustworthy? You want to make sure that they have the right amount of experience. So generally that means at least 5 years. You want to ask them if they have bought their own notes or if they only broker them. You can go out and check most websites and find out about them. So out here on Seascape, you can go over to the About Us section, and so you click on that and it talks all about the company and about us. You can also go into the articles section, which talks about, for instance, how partials work, which we were just talking about a minute ago. We have testimonials out on our website from satisfied past clients. Of course, some people can fib about those, but we always make sure that we write exactly what they have told us that they want. Ask about the process. So generally the process for selling your note, from the time that you initially send the documents and the signed agreement until you get getting the funds, takes about 4 to 5 weeks. It can occasionally be a little bit slower. Sometimes it's a little bit faster as well, but there are a lot of moving parts, so you want to make sure you understand what those are. The third thing you want to ask is how often you get updates. Generally, the note buyer should be giving you updates at least twice per week, and if there are known issues, they'll want to do it more often. To check out the note buyer, some things you'll want to do are you will want to go over and check out their Better Business Bureau posting. You'll also want to Google them and check and make sure there's nothing negative that's been written about them. You can also go out and check on the Better Business Bureau. You can check out and make sure they have an A+ rating there. You will want to make sure that they're licensed in their home state. Now, California is one of the few states that requires a note buyer to be licensed, but it does show a commitment and a competency. So we hope this helps in getting the best price for your note. For more information, go to seascapecapital.com or call us at 1-800-634-4697. Thank you.